I have a blog. I started blogging around 5 years ago. Is it worth it? If you're on the fence about starting a blog today, I want to tell you my story. How blogging changed my life. If you're stuck in a job you don't like, spending your days chained to a desk, wasting your time commuting to work, or not making money online, you need to watch this video. Before we dive in, let me set the record straight. If you're expecting rags to riches, tales of overcoming poverty to become a millionaire through grief and struggle, that's not what you'll find here. I'm just an ordinary person who's led a typical life and is now living out a dream. When I started my blog, I was holding down a corporate job. It wasn't terrible, I actually liked it, but it wasn't my passion either. Let's rewind a bit. I come from a family of lawyers. Everyone around me were lawyers, judges, prosecutors, or in a law-related gig. So when it came time for me to pick a major in university, I followed suit and went for law. Then I tried to make it a bit more fun for me, so I specialized in international law, so I traveled, I lived in different countries. I passed the bar exams to become a lawyer, pursued a PhD, taught at university, and eventually settled into my corporate role. Everyone was telling me I had an amazing job, an amazing career, but despite doing well, there was always that itch for a creative outlet that I couldn't scratch. Then came a tough time in my life. My family wanted to grow, but it wasn't just happening. My husband and I were facing fertility issues, and I needed something to take my mind off. So I started a blog, and it changed everything. At first, that blog was just a hobby, something that made me happy. Even though I still had my regular job, I couldn't wait to get home and work on the blog. It was my sister Marina, my sister-in-law Emma, and myself. We were all loving it. We were happy. We still had our jobs, but now we were also doing something we were passionate about. It became a big part of our lives. But then something happened that changed everything. Our blog started making money. We were thrilled, no doubt, but also a bit surprised. Could it be that we could make a living just doing what we loved? It was early days, but the realization turned everything around. Until then, I had always stuck to my field, picking the career I loved most from the options available. The idea of creating something entirely new for myself, something that could fulfill all my dreams and even leave a legacy for my kid, hadn't crossed my mind. Things got real when people started asking how we made money with our first blog. It went behind a hobby. It became a hobby, the beginning of a dream. Marina and I had a heart-to-heart. We loved the behind the scenes of blogging. I had a thing for teaching with a background in it, and Marina was all about writing. So we decided to kick off a new blog, a blog to guide new bloggers on how to start a blog and make money. And voila, Blogging for New Bloggers was born. Then a moment hit me, making it crystal clear that blogging was my true calling. I no longer wanted to work for someone else, juggle schedules, or make someone else rich with my efforts. I craved freedom, the chance to do what I genuinely loved. And then I got pregnant. Turns out taking my mind off the fertility struggle worked like a charm. On maternity leave, I was living the dream, working on my blog, and of course, getting ready to welcome a baby. I tasted my dream life, and going back to the old routine wasn't an option. So after wrapping up things on my corporate job, post-maternity leave, I quit. My dream life officially kicked off. But what changed? How did blogging really transform my life? What did it offer that my corporate job couldn't? Let me spill the beans, but first, if you want to learn more about how to start a blog and make money blogging, then make sure you click the link in my description box, because I have a free guide that will dive deeper into how to create your own blog and get you started. This guide will walk you through the blueprint I used to start my blog that turned into a multiple six-figures business, and comes with in-depth strategies, assignments, and tons of actionable tips so you don't want to miss out. Get it for free at the link in the description box down below. Back to us. The first way that blogging changed my life is by unleashing my creativity and allowing me to make a positive impact. Blogging totally changed my life in the coolest ways. It lets me be super creative and make a positive impact. With the blog, you've got this awesome space to share your thoughts and help others. My old job was cool, but now I get to help people change their lives, see real transformation happening. Even when I mess up, it's cool because I can help new bloggers avoid the same mistakes and save them a bunch of time. And here's the best part. I get to decide what to talk about and what to work on. If you ever worked for someone else, you know how frustrating it can be following their plan. But this is not even the best part. I'll tell you that change that I love the most in a bit, but now let's talk about what can make the difference for lots of people. The next way blogging changed my life is that it makes me money. But the best part is there isn't a cap on how much you can actually make. While blogging is not a get-rich-quick scheme and you won't become a millionaire overnight, a blog has the potential to become a massive source of income. As you grow your audience and establish your online presence, you open doors to several revenue streams like sponsored posts, revenue from display ads, affiliate marketing, and even creating and selling your own products or services. Now, I won't lie, my job was paying me quite well, but I was already up on the ladder. There wasn't much room for further growth. While with my blog, the sky is the limit. Now, again, my dream is not to be a billionaire or something. I like things chill, with a comfy lifestyle, lots of vacation, and a good balance between work and life. Blogging made me financially independent, turning my passion into a money-making online gig. And the cool thing is, there is so much more potential if I decide to go for it. But one of the reasons that I love having my own blog business is that I'm my own boss. So try and guess which is the next way that blogging changed my life. And you're correct. Being my own boss. The next way starting a blog has changed my life is that I'm my own boss. I decide when to work, what topics to talk about. I'm in control. No more asking the boss for time off or feeling guilty about stepping away from my desk. With the blog, I have the freedom to manage my time however I want. Just the other day, my daughter's kindergarten had an event at 3 in the afternoon in the middle of a work day. I didn't need anyone's permission to attend. I go to do my hair every Friday. I go for massages during the week. Being your own boss means you get to balance your personal and professional life on your terms. You call the shots, and that's pretty awesome. Before I move on to my favorite way that blogging changed my life, if you're enjoying this video so far and see how blogging can change your life, hit the subscribe button to get more tips on how to start your blog and make money blogging. Back to my favorite way that blogging changed my life. Blogging gave me flexibility and freedom. Why confine yourself to a cubicle or an office when you can work from anywhere in the world? Imagine trading your daily commute for a laptop on a tropical beach or a cozy corner of your favorite coffee shop. With a blog, you have the flexibility to work on your terms, wherever and whenever you choose. Embrace that freedom to travel, explore, and still pursue your professional aspirations. And this was the best part for me. First, I love having business meetings in Marina Spa. Joke aside, probably you've guessed from my accent, but I'm Italian. I moved to Australia with my husband, who is Australian. My family, apart from Marina, is still in Italy. I still have lots of friends there. When I was working at my corporate job, I could go and visit maybe once or twice a year. I could go and maybe stay 1 month. Everything needed to be arranged with my boss on how long and when I could actually take annual leave. Right now, I can go whenever I want and stay as long as I want. Plus, because we opted for a no-hassle, more chilled entrepreneurship, I can work as much or as little as I like. Last summer, my family and Marina's family went there and stayed as long as we wanted. We even had the possibility to break the journey. 23 hours is no joke. And we could do that, all because of blogging. That's the life I've always dreamed about. A life with no financial worries, a job that fulfills me, but that can also work on autopilot, allowing me to actually live my life. The next way that starting a blog has changed my life is by changing myself as a person. Starting a blog turned out to be a game changer for my personal growth. Blogging became a journey of self-discovery. From crafting engaging content to mastering the art of SEO and social media promotion, blogging pushed me to acquire different skills. It's a crash course in digital marketing, design, writing, and entrepreneurship, making me a more versatile and skilled individual. In essence, starting a blog wasn't just about creating content, it was a transformative journey that nurtured my personal growth in ways I never anticipated. Moving on to the next reason, one of the great things about starting a blog is that you have nothing to lose. If you start a blog, you can gain a lot from it, but if you try and don't like it, you don't have much to lose. Hear me out. To kick things off, you can start working on your blog while keeping the stability of your 9-to-5 job intact. This approach lets you test the waters in the blogging world without making a bold move like quitting your job immediately. During your free time, you can dedicate an effort to developing your blog. As your blog gains momentum and begins to bring you income, you can take a closer look at your choices and decide whether a shift to full-time blogging aligns with your goals. That's exactly what I did. No crazy overnight job quitting drama for me. I nurtured my blog slowly, all in my spare time. And let's be real, spare time was a luxury. I had a newborn in the mix, so it wasn't this massive effort considering the baby situation. Plus, starting a blog is super budget friendly compared to other business gigs. Seriously, you can kick it off with just a tiny investment. All you really need are two things: a domain name, that's the website address, and web hosting. I've dropped some quite affordable ones in the description box down below. Basically, with minimal cash upfront, blogging lets you build a killer online business without making your bank account cry. Easy peasy. But most importantly, it lets you leave a mark that sticks around. With the blog, you're putting your skills and creativity into something that's 100% yours. Instead of adding to someone else's success, you get to build your own personal brand. It's like leaving a cool legacy for yourself and your family, and even setting up something awesome for generations down the line. Imagine this: your kid might keep the blog going, or they could sell it and use the cash to dive into something they're super into. It's like planting a creativity seed that keeps on growing. Whenever I put in the work on my blog, I'm not just clocking in for a monthly paycheck. It's about growing something for me, for my family. That feeling, it's the best. My efforts alongside Marina's are building something Violet and Alice can benefit from down the road. Launching a blog has flipped my life in countless ways, and I can't wrap my head around why more folks aren't taking the plunge. If you're thinking of a life change, dreaming of ditching that 9-to-5 grind, aiming to be your own boss with all the freedom in the world, then check out this video next. Is the key to making it all happen. Dive into something that's yours, grab financial independence for yourself, and set the stage for a future where your kids can thrive. Thanks for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Ciao e a presto.